Okay, so for the last topic, okay, that we will be discussing is your phytochemical screening. Okay, so sa phytochemical screening, we have two different types, a qualitative or a quantitative. Okay, so qualitative test or quantitative test. So sa qualitative test, we have your steroids, reducing sugars, triterpenoids, sugars, alkaloids, phenolic compounds, flavonoids, saponins, tannins, anthraquinones, amino acids. While on the other hand, we have your quantitative test, which is determination of total alkaloids, total flavonoids, total phenolics, total saponins, total tannins, and total glycosides. So, qualitative analysis method. So, di ba, nasabi natin kanina, we have your alkaloids, carbohydrates, reducing sugar, saponins, phytosteroids, phenols, tannins, flavonoids, cardiac glycosides, protein, amino acids, terpenoids, fixed oils and fats, GAMs, and mucilage. To identify, okay, these different phytoconstituents that can be determined via a plant, okay, so we undergo different tests. Okay, for the alkaloids, for example, for the alkaloids, okay, so to determine the alkaloid content of a plant, okay, so we must undergo, okay, the Mayer's test, Dragendorf's test, Hager's, and Wagner's test. So that's the example. So another one is we are looking for a phenol content or phenolic content of a plant. So therefore, ang ipe-perform natin is si ferric chloride test and si lead acetate test. So makikita nyo naman dyan, okay, so naka-align each number kung ano yung test required when it comes to finding its phytoconstituents. So now, detection of alkaloids. So the individual extract is dissolved in dilute hydrochloric acid and filtered. So the filtrate was further tested with following reagents for the presence of alkaloids. So Dragendorfs, okay? Dragendorfs yan guys, Dragendorfs. So filtrate was treated with potassium bismuth iodide solution or Dragendorf's test or Dragendorf's reagent. Okay, so formation of orange red precipitate. Okay, orange red precipitate is the indicator, okay, for the presence of alkaloids. Okay, so sa Hager's test, okay, so filtrate was treated with saturated aqueous solution of picric or Hager's reagent. So sa Hager's reagent, ang kanya namang indicator, okay, to determine, okay, na ang plant or ang sample na ginagamit ay may presence of alkaloid, okay, so formation of yellow colored precipitate. While on the Mayer's reagent, okay, formation of whitish yellow or cream-colored precipitate indicate the presence of alkaloids. So, ayan po, sa alkaloids. So, detection naman ng carbohydrates. So, ayan, nandiyan yung process. Okay, so ang bigyan natin ng highlight is yung pinaka-test. Okay, so sa test, okay, development of a violet ring at the junction of two liquid confirmed the presence of carbohydrates. Again, the development of a violet ring, okay, at the junction of two liquid confirmed the presence of your carbohydrates. So detecting of reducing sugars. Okay, so Benedict's test. So filtrate, okay, was treated with Benedict's reagent and boil in a thermostatic water bath for 15 minutes. So now, okay, the indication or the indicator for the detection of reducing sugar in Benedict's test is formation of an orange-red precipitate indicated the presence of reducing sugar. So sa Fellings test naman, okay, so sa Fellings test, filtrate was acidified with diluted hydrochloric acid, neutralized with alkali, and heated with Fellings A and B solution. So, now, okay, ang endpoint or ang kailangan natin makita is formation of red precipitate indicated, okay, the presence of your reducing sugar. So, on the biochemistry, so hindi na natin masyadong lalaluman kasi sa biochemistry nito, mas ma-elaborate. So, bigyan ko lang kayo ng konting background. Ano po? So, detection of phytosterols. So, phytosterols, so meron tayong Salkowski test. So, Salkowski's test, okay, so formation of brown ring indicated the presence of phytosterols. Kung dito kanina, okay, so kay Mollish test, okay, so development of violet ring. So, dito naman, okay, okay, wait lang. So, Benedict's, okay, so, tapos na tayo dito, okay, so, ay, napasobra tayo. Dito muna tayo sa saponins bago tayo magpunta ng phytosterols. So, detection of saponins, okay, extract was diluted with distilled water to 20 ml and shaken in a graduated test tube for 15 minutes. So, formation of 1 centimeter layer of foam indicated that the presence of saponin is present, okay, on the sample. So, foam test, okay, so small quantity of the extract was shaken with 2 ml of water. Persistence of foam produced by 10 minutes indicated, okay, the presence of saponins. So, persistence of foam produced for 10 minutes. So, please do take note of the indicator each test po. So, kay Salkowski, okay, formation of brown ring indicated the presence of phytosterol. Kay Lieberman-Burchard's test, okay, so formation of bluish green color solution confirmed the presence of your phytosterols. Again, formation of a bluish green color solution compared the presence of your phytosterols. So, detection of phenolic compounds. So, ferrichloride test. So, formation of bluish-black color indicated the presence of your phenols. So, please do take note formation of bluish-black color. Then the lead acetate, okay, bulky white precipitate indicated the presence of your phenolic compounds. So, bulky white precipitate. Kay lead acetate test. So, detection of tannins, development of a brownish green or a blue-black coloration indicated the presence of the tannins in a sample. So, development of brownish green or a blue-black coloration. Now, detection of flavonoids. So, alkaline reagent test. So, the positive result, okay, of this is formation of intense yellow color, which becomes colorless, okay, on further addition of dilute acid indicated the presence of flavonoids. So, lead acetate test din, hindi lang siya kay phenolic compound. So, pwede rin siya kay flavonoids. So, formation of yellow precipitate indicated the presence of flavonoids. Formation of yellow precipitate indicated the presence of your flavonoids. So, ferrichloride test, development of intense green color indicates the presence of your flavonoids. So, development of intense green color indicates the presence of your flavonoids. So, detection of proteins and amino acids. So, Milon's test. So, a white precipitate is formed which changes to brick red or disappear, indicates the presence of proteins and amino acid. So, burette test, okay, so formation of pink color in the external layer indicates the presence of the product. Presence of protein. So, ninhydrin test. So, formation of blue color indicated the presence of your amino acid. So, kay melons, okay, so kapag white precipitate is formed to brick red or disappears, indicates na amino acids and proteins. While kay burette test, presence lamang po ng proteins. While kay ninhydrin, presence po ng amino acid. So, detection of terpenoids. So, Kalkowski test. So, a reddish-brown coloration of the interface indicated the presence of your terpenoids. Keller-Killiani. So, appearance of violet ring below the brown ring and a greenish ring in the acetic layer confirmed the result. So, medyo sumasapaw to si Keller-Killiani. Okay? So, test for fixed oils and fat. So, spot test, okay, kay volatile oil, okay, siya yung nag-evaporate, hindi nagli-leave ng stain. While kay fixed oil, siya yung nagli-leave ng stain. Kaya nga fix, okay, so mahirap. So, saponification test, okay, formation of soap indicated the presence of fixed oil and fats in the fluid extract. So, test for gums and mucilages. So, a pink color production showed the presence of gums and mucilages. So, a pink color production. So, please do take note of that. Now, okay, so punta tayo sa inyong extraction. Okay? So, sa extraction, we have your extractive. So, extraction is the method of removing active constituents from a solid or liquid by means of liquid solvent. The separation of medicinally active portions of plant or animal tissue from the inactive or inert components by using selective solvent. Okay, so in this method, the wanted components are dissolved by the use of selective solvents known as menstruum, and undissolved part is the mark. So, ang mark, solid residue after the extraction sa menstruum solvent used for the extraction. So, before we undergo, we have two types of your extract, the dry, soft, and the liquid. So, ideal properties of a solvent. So, be highly selective for the compound to be extracted, not react with the extracted compound or with other compounds in the plant material. Of course, it may cause adulteration or negative impact, okay, on the product. Have a low price, be harmless to man and to the environment, of course, para hindi yan makakatawid ng FDA kung gano'n na nangyayari. So, be completely volatile. Okay, so should not mix with water, should have the big capacity in relation to extractive. So the density of solvent should be different from water density, should have the minimum viscosity. So methods of your extraction. So first, we identify the infusion. So infusion, so fresh infusions are prepared by macerating, okay, the crude drug for a short period of time with cold water or boiling water. So these are dilute solutions of the readily soluble constituents of crude drug. So example neto, okay, types of your infusion are the fresh fusion and the concentrated infusion. Okay? Next, okay, so madaling sabi, itong infusion, short period of time lang using maceration. While kay decoction, okay, in this process, the crude drug is boiled in a specified volume of water for a defined time. It is then cooled and strained or filtered. So this procedure is suitable for extracting water-soluble, heat-stable constituents. So the coffee and tea, that's the common. Okay, so lalo na ngayon maraming nauuso. Okay, different types of coffee. We have your tea bag, yung mga nakaganda. Okay. So, decoction yung ginagawa nyo kapag kayo ay nagbo-brew. Digestion. Okay, so digestion, this is a form of maceration in which gentle heat is used during the process of extraction. It is used when moderately elevated temperature is not objectionable. So the solvent efficiency of the menstruum is thereby increased. So ang example nandito is extraction of the morphine. So digestion, gentle heat lamang po ang gamit natin dito. Okay, maceration. In this process, the solid ingredients are placed in a stoppered container with the whole of the solvent and allowed to stand for a short period of time, at least 3 days or 3 to 7 days with frequent agitation until soluble matter is dissolved. So maceration is the common one when we are performing extraction in our laboratory. So binababad mo siya 3 to 5 days before the mismong experimentation. So the mixture is then strained through sieves or nets or cloths. So the mark press and combined liquids clarified cleaned by filtration or by decantation after standing. So percolation naman po. So percolation, it is continuous downward displacement of the solvent through the bed of crude drug material to get extract. So the most frequently used to extract active ingredients in the preparation of tinctures and fluid extract. So percolation po yun. So it is the method of short successive maceration or process of displacement. So the material that is being used here in percolation is a percolator. Okay, a narrow cone-shaped vessel upon at both ends. So it is generally used conical cylindrical. Supercritical fluid extraction. So for every substance, there is a critical temperature and critical pressure. So above which no applied pressure can force the substance into its liquid phase. So if the temperature and pressure of a substance are both higher than the critical temperature and critical pressure, for that substance, the substance is defined as a supercritical fluid. So nakikita nyo? Si supercritical fluid. So inexplain. So choice of your SEFs, solvent. Okay, so good solving property, inner to the product, easy separation from the product, cheap of course, so low CP, okay, or low critical parameters because of economic reason. Carbon dioxide is the most commonly used, okay, so SEF due primarily to its low critical parameters. So ayan po yung ating choices of the solvent of your supercritical fluid. So advantages of supercritical fluid: dissolving powder from the SEF is controlled by pressure. Okay, so SEF is easily recoverable from the extract due to its volatility. So non-toxic solvents leave no harmful residues. So high boiling components are extracted at relatively low temperature. So separations not possible by any or by more traditional processes can sometimes be affected. So thermally labile, so compounds can be extracted with minimal damage as low as temperature can be employed by the okay, that by the extraction. Again, kung makikita niyo yung dulo, thermally labile compounds can be extracted with minimal damage. Okay, but okay, so ayun lamang po. As low temperatures can be employed by the extraction. Siyempre, kung may advantage, may disadvantage. So, elevated pressure required. So, compression of solvent require elaborate recycling measures to reduce energy cost. So, high capital investment for equipment. Yun nga lang, medyo may kamahalan po ang ating gamit. So, counter current extraction, a liquid-liquid extraction process in which the solvent and the process stream in contact with each other flow in opposite direction. So, screw extractors and carousel extractors are the two types of equipment used for the counter current extraction. So, please do take note of the two types. So microwave-assisted extraction or your MAE. So microwaves are the electromagnetic radiations with a frequency of 0.3 to 300 gigahertz. Okay, so in order to avoid interferences with radio communications, so domestic and industrial microwaves generally operate at 2.45 gigahertz owing to their electromagnetic nature. Microwaves possess electric and magnetic fields which are perpendicular to each other. So the electric field causes heating via two simultaneous mechanisms, namely bipolar rotation and ionic conduction. Again, dipolar rotation and ionic conduction. So advantages, it reduces solvent consumption, it has a shorter operational time, it possesses moderately high recoveries, has a good reproducibility, and minimal samples of manipulation for extraction process. So anong disadvantage nitong main na to? An additional filtration or centrifugation is necessary to remove the solid residue during your microwave assisted extraction or your meal. So, dapat, okay, meron tayong, ayan. So, dapat, ayan, may centrifugation process. Furthermore, the efficiency of microwaves can be very poor when either the target compounds or the solvents are nonpolar or when they are volatile. So, ultrasonication assisted extraction or UAE. So, the procedure involves the use of ultrasound waves which have, okay, frequencies higher than 20 kilohertz and have great effects on extraction yield and kinetics. So, advantages, okay, it is an inexpensive, simple, and efficient alternative to conventional extraction technique. It include the increase of extraction yield and faster kinetics. So number two, it is reduce the operating temperature, allowing the extraction of thermolabile compounds. Number three, compared with other novel extraction techniques such as microwave-assisted extraction, the ultrasound apparatus is cheaper and its operational is easier kay UAE. Pero, syempre, may disadvantage rin tayo. So, the inactive constituents of medicinal plants through formation of free radicals and consequently undesirable changes in the drug molecules. Yun nga lang, wala nang separation na masyadong nangyayari. Okay, sumasama siya mismo, okay, sa mismong product. Okay? So, ngayon, ito yung mga desired, okay, so organic solvents when you are extracting or macerating a sample. Okay? So, properties of ideal solvent. So, ang properties ng ideal solvent is be highly selective. Okay, so nasabi na natin yan kanina. So, conclusion lang. So, extraction is essential for isolation of different chemical constituent from crude drug material. Extraction depends on the properties of material to be extracted. Hence, it is necessary to study extraction methods in detail. Okay, so hindi naman porket pag sinabing extraction, mag-extract ka lang basta-basta. Pwede rin kayo sa dugo, extract, pa-extract po. Okay? So, ayan, meron din tayo sa plants. Okay, so it is really essential for isolation of different chemical constituent from crude drug material. Okay, that's your extraction. So if you have some question, you can direct message me. Okay, so thank you for listening po.